Welcome back to the Duler Stadium for match number 55 after a day's break, after a double header Sunday. Hope you've had a good Holi. It's a match between Velsao Sports and Cultural Club and Churchill Brothers in the Selvel Goa Professional League. As we move on to Velsao warming up for a very big game today with a rejuvenated Churchill Brothers side. Velsao Sports and Cultural Club, they will look to save themselves from relegation with a point or more than that against Churchill Brothers. 3 points here today, and they will be a very happy team with Climax Lawrence and Jude Barreto almost guaranteed safety. On to the first 11 for Velsao Sports and Cultural Club with Peter Carvalho. Kane Moora comes into the team. Ronald Azevedo, Akshay Pashilkar, Viraj Naik, Brian Mascarenas, Klusna Pereira, Joseph Pereira. Romario gets a starting place today in the 11. Presley Mascarenas and Velroy Carvalho, also a new face in the team, coached by Jude Barreto. On to a Churchill Brothers side who's been in quite good form. They beat Calangute Association in the last game, high-flying Calangute Association, and Debnath Mondal warming up for today's game. They won't have it easy, although it looks quite comfortable on paper, but Velsao are sure to make it a tough encounter for Churchill Brothers, and they should be prepared, as the rumors say that there have been new players registered with this Churchill Brothers team. Churchill Brothers, Trijoy Dice coming back into the team. Joban Cardozo, Clint Mendes, Darren Fernandez, Kidron Fernandez, Darren Pixoto, Rajender Bairola, Bursal Vegas, Asif Molla, Debnath Mondol and Valito Cruz. The points table, as you see, Churchill Brothers in 7th position with 13 points, absolutely safe from the relegation zone. They can muster up to 19 points, which means that they are not in the hunt for title, but they will be looking for position in the table. Whereas Velsao is struggling in 11th position. What a crucial match for them with 7 points from 9 matches. As the referee walks in, with both the teams looking for a victory today. Both the teams all ready right now with Debnath Mondol and Presley Mascarenas. The captains, the goalkeepers of their respective teams, with the referees today: Prasad Surlakar, Akash Telgu, Mariano Rebello, and 4th official Barkat Bahadur Khan. An experienced referee, Prasad Surlakar, handling a big game today, with Jude Barreto and Climax Lawrence we see on the bench. And we can also see Umesh Pujar. We haven't seen in a long time Umesh Pujar in that first 11. And there we see the coach of Churchill Brothers, Armando Colasso. The legendary Armando Colasso, who's turned the Churchill Brothers team around somewhat. They were in a precarious position before the great man took charge, but Churchill Brothers have shown why they are called the Red Machines and why they are one of the biggest clubs in Goan football. The only Goan club Right now playing in the I-League for is Churchill Brothers, but just about missing the I-League title, losing out on goal difference to Gokulam Kerala, the first team from Kerala to win this year's I-League competition. Gokulam Kerala, however, on the final day it was drama again in the I-League, with Churchill having to win their game against Roundglass Punjab Football Club. They were 3-0 up in the first half, but Punjab sought a fight back in the second half, pulling 2 goals back, but Churchill ending up winning and doing their job by winning 3-2 against a very good Punjab side. But they had to have a draw in the other game between Trau and Gokulam FC, and there was a moment where Churchill Brothers thought they would win the I-League. The officials, there were many celebrations, I am sure, in the Churchill camp, with Trau and Gokulam locked at 1-1, but Gokulam coming back from 1 goal down in that second half in a devastating 30-minute period. They absolutely slaughtered a Trau FC side to come out victorious 4-1. But what a fight that was for the I-League title. But Prasad Sirlakar blows the whistle and gets the game on its way, with Velsao starting proceedings from right to left. This is Rajendra Singh Bairola, plays it square to Kidron Fernandez. Valito. Back to Rajendra. Churchill Brothers really do not have much to play for in terms of the title, as well as they're not in the relegation zone either. It'll be interesting to see how Armando Colasso and the boys motivate themselves for this kind of an encounter, where Velsao are in much need of a victory, if anything else, because they are languishing in 11th position. Only Sessa beyond them. Sessa Football Academy only on 4 points, but they are in grave danger of being relegated, with not winning even 1 game yet. Sessa Football Academy. This is Churchill Brothers, with Bersel Vegas playing on that left hand side today in place of Yagya Kapoor, who was suspended because of 2 yellow cards received in the league. Armando Colasso giving a few new players coming into the team from the I-League as well, with Kingsley Fernandez also coming into the team. However, this is Trijoy Dias, who's been in good form and a major part of why Churchill Brothers have been a rejuvenated side. This is Brian Mascarenas, who gives the foul away. This is Schubert Pereira. He's playing his first game today for Churchill Brothers in the Goa Professional League this year. This is Asif Molla to take this free kick. Asif's free kick is a dipping one into the box. This is Joseph Pereira, and Valito gives the foul away. You see Joseph just being clipped from the back by Valito Cruz. Kluzna. Peter and Kluzna playing passes amongst themselves, and Kluzna gives it away. Trijoy tries to take it. This is Schubert, the skillful man Schubert. Valito Cruz. Joban heads it back to Bersel Vegas. That's a beautiful ball through, isn't it? It's in the box, and the first save from Presley Mascarenas. That was quality right there from Kingsley Fernandez. As the ball comes in, this time straight into the hands of Presley Mascarenas, but we already see that quality coming into the team today from Schubert Pereira and Kingsley Fernandez. Early Churchill Brothers pressure on Velsao Sports and Cultural Club. Churchill Brothers will want to show no mercy. Here's that man Kingsley cutting back in, taking that shot on. A little shimmy to the left, shifts his body weight to the right and takes a grounded shot. Looking for an opening on the first post, but Presley Mascarenas was up to the task. He has a big job on his hands today, but this could be dangerous for Churchill Brothers. But doing well in the end, Asif Mullah. Ronald was the man who was darting forward into the box. And it's a corner kick for Velsao, with Brian Mascarenas the obvious choice to take this. Brian taking his time. He will look to call it in, and Velsao getting an early goal today could change things up. This is dangerous! Devnath Mondal grabs it in the second attempt as Kluzna has stayed on the ground. We'll see this corner kick again. Devnath trying to come out and collect it, not quite there. For a moment it was bouncing out dangerously, but on the second attempt, Devnath, luckily for him, the ball was not very far away from him. Early medical attention required for Kluzna Pereira. Devnath has been in good form also, captaining this side, and he's led it well really. Churchill Brothers were not doing very well when he came into this team, and he's been part of their recent success. This is Kingsley Fernandez. Look at this close control. Look at the control. Look at, he's always looking to take these players on, Kingsley Fernandez. We know Schubert Pereira and Kingsley very well coming into this Goa Pro League team of Churchill Brothers after coming off an almost very triumphant I-League campaign. And this is Joban Cardozo. The ball comes in and Presley's palmed it out. This is Trijoy. Trijoy plays it back. Rajender. Kidron plays it forward. This is Schubert Pereira pacing up that right wing. Boy, he's been a live wire since he's come on. Look at this from Schubert. So confident on the ball. This is Clint Mendes. Rajender. Rajender holding on to the ball a little longer, giving it away. Armando Colasso will not be a happy man with that, and you see him straight away getting off his bench, giving him a piece of his mind to Rajender Singh, but can't prevent a Velsao throw, and this is Kluzna. Brian Mascarenas. The ball forward has found Joseph Pereira, who's put in a good ball in. This is Romario, but Bersel Vigas does well. This is Bersel to Joban. Joban down the left hand side. This is Schubert now. Schubert pacing up. He paces forward. That's a beautifully threaded ball, but Trijoy just not reading that ball from Schubert. But look at that run again. It's just been 8 minutes into this game, and I can tell you that Schubert and Kingsley Fernandez both look a different class altogether right now. Churchill Brothers are looking very threatening. It seems to be that Velsao is going to endure a long afternoon. Look at this run from Schubert. Easily gets past the challenges. Looks like it's going to be a long afternoon for Jude Barreto's boys. But it is still 0-0, and Velsao will be hoping to keep it that way for as long as they can, and if they can get that odd goal out, who knows, we could be in for another shocker. This is Asif Molla's ball forward, looking for Schubert. Klusna puts it out for a throw-in. Trijoy leaves it for Asif. Churchill Brothers, like I said, are in very good form. They just couldn't get past FC Goa. They drew that match 1-1. They conceded that early goal from Sereno Fernandez, but they showed real fighting spirit. Down to 10 men. Afdal Farikaudan getting the goal back for Churchill Brothers in the first half, and then 10 men Churchill fighting for that point, which kind of derailed FC Goa's march forward. They have bleak chances now of retaining the title, FC Goa. Velsao, who were looking in good form after that victory against Garden Angel, they won that game 1-0 courtesy of Savlon Cardozo. Thunderbolt into the roof of the net against Garden Angel in the first half, and then they held on to that lead. They beat Panjim Footballers 2-1 as well, but in their last match against Youth Club of Manora, they were really confident of winning, but they put up a very disappointing performance, only to lose 1-0 to Youth Club of Manora, courtesy of Nicholas Fernandez goal. And he's been absolutely fantastic in this tournament, Nicholas Fernandez for Manora, the captain of Youth Club of Manora. But Velsao, you didn't expect them to lose that match, coming into that match in rich vein of form, and Youth Club of Manora were not having the best of times, but that victory will surely hold them in good stead. This is Rajender, but the clearance, Romario twisting and turning, trying to take on Bersel Vegas, playing on that left hand side today in place of Yagya Kapoor. This is Joban. This is Schubert now. What's a beautiful ball through to Kingsley Fernandez. Kingsley taking players on, leaving them on the ground. This is still Kingsley, just cannot get it through to Schubert. You can see those two always looking for each other. Rajinder heads it on to Velito. This is Kidron Fernandez. Asif Molla. Kidron to Rajinder. Kingsley's ball switched on to Asif Molla. This is Velito. Trijoy just with a heavy touch. Asif gets it. Churchill have had a good start today. They will be looking to get that goal. Look at that control from Kingsley Fernandez. He's toying with these Velsao youngsters right now. But what a good experience this must be for these young boys. I can see Schubert moving in. The ball comes in. No one in the box. Are they missing? Afdal Varikaudan, a perfect striker who would have loved to have the services of Schubert and Kingsley Fernandez, as this ball is not quite kept in by Akshay Pashilkar. Climax Lawrence and Jude Barreto will be concerned with the quality on display from Kingsley and Schubert right now. This is 3 joy. However, this is Ronald Azevedo, Peter Carvalho, keeping his calm. This is Peter again. Played it back to Viraj. This is Peter. Peter plays it to Kane. Kane to Peter. The fight for the ball. Peter loses out on that with Asif Mullah. This is Velito. It has been an interesting passage of play in the opening 15 minutes. Not really testing Debnath Mondol at all. Velsao Sports and Cultural Club. But Presley Mascarenhas has been called into action once, as Schubert gives away that foul on Kluzna. This is Viraj Naik. Peter almost losing out there again to Schubert. Kingsley in chase. Both of them playing up top today, Kingsley Fernandez and Schubert. A big test for that defense with Kluzna, Pereira, Brian Mascarenhas, Viraj Naik. Brian puts it up, but no handball given. Velito gets it. As Clins Mendes to Kidrin. This is Rajender. It's Kingsley Fernandez. He twisting and turning, plays it to Schubert. That's beautiful play, isn't it, between Schubert and Kingsley, but Jobon in an offside position. It's a treat to watch good football, and this right here, you'll see this movement. What confidence, what telepathy. He knows that movement, and no one can track that run of Kingsley as they quickly play that 1-2, as this is given away to 3 joy. This is Schubert with the shot, but well defended in the end by the man who gave away that ball, Kluzna Pereira. He had to make up for that. This is put through for Kingsley, just not getting on the end of it. Raj Naik will get ahead of Kingsley on this occasion. Presley. This is Kluzna. You can see Churchill Brothers just patiently holding up today. They know that Velsao have to go for a victory, and they know with the quality of Schubert and Kingsley, they can hit these Velsao youngsters. And has he given a penalty? Has this changed up? He's actually given a penalty. Will you believe it or not? Prasad Surlakar has given a penalty against Churchill Brothers. Look at this once again. This cross isn't that important. What happened in the box is important, and we won't see it in this replay. We'll see if we can get a better angle of that. This should give us a better idea. There's nothing much in there, honestly, and just maybe the player who was brought to the ground, Kane Fernandez, was probably in an offside position if from that angle. Kane Fernandez looked quite in an offside position. However, we'll get back to that. This is Brian Mascarenas! And he has scored. We know he's got a brilliant left foot. There's not much celebration in the Velsao camp because they know that this game is far from over. Churchill Brothers are down 1-0 to Velsao Sports and Cultural Club, with Brian Mascarenas taking an absolutely stupendous penalty. Devnath Mondol diving the right side, but no goalkeeper in the world would have saved that from Brian Mascarenas. That's right in the corner. Brilliant penalty under pressure from Brian Mascarenas. What have we got in store here? Are we in for another shocker? But now, getting back to that penalty call, before I get to whether there was a soft penalty given away, that replay did show me something, and which is Kane Fernandez was probably in an offside position when that ball was played. I could be wrong, but it looked like it to me from the studio. However, it is Velsao Sports and Cultural Club 1, Churchill Brothers 0. Brian Mascarenas is the scorer. It's not for the first time that he scored. It's not for the first time that he's been the savior for Velsao Sports and Cultural Club, and this goal will definitely give more impetus to Velsao and will give them a spring in their step, and they should be giving it their all right now, trying to get it past the Churchill Brothers team, which has the likes of Kingsley Fernandez and Schubert, who've looked very likely to get past this defense any point. But only time will tell whether that man on your screen, Schubert and Kingsley, get on the score sheet or get Churchill Brothers back in the game and restore parity. And you can see that in this Velsao team right now. They are dwindling in confidence. This is Joseph Pereira just giving the ball away. They are sliding in. They are trying to impose themselves on this Churchill Brothers team, but we've seen Churchill Brothers come back before, and today will be no different for the Red Machines. What a scoreline we have in the opening 22 minutes, quite against the run of play. This is Ronald Azevedo, who does well. 3-Joy dies in chasing. This is Kane Fernandez. Brian's switch over. That's a beautiful ball put across. This is Akshay. Tries to play that 1-2 with Velroy, but not quite coming off. This is Kidron Fernandez. What Churchill need to do here is to be a little patient and not lose their mind over this goal conceded. They have the quality today, and they should believe in themselves and trust in their form and their abilities, because they have really been on the up. This is Bersel Vegas. Plays it back to Rajinder Singh. Clint Mendes, rather. This is Bersel Vegas looking to put a cross in, but comes off Velroy, and this is a throw now. Kingsley takes that first touch, but cleared on by Viraj Naik. It comes off Kingsley in the end and gives away a throw. Not a bad scoreline for Jude Barreto and Climax Lawrence at this point of time. Can they hold on to this Can they at least go into half-time with this lead, because that could give them fresh strategies and tactics from Jude Barreto and Climax Lawrence, which could really help them in that second half. Because if Churchill Brothers do not score in this half, I can guarantee you something, that second half will be a completely different story. They'll be bombarding on that Velsao goal, or they will be hoping to do so, but Velsao have held their own, with due credit to them. They've had a good run in today. This is Kane Fernandez, Brian Mascarenas, Peter Carvalho's ball in, headed on by Rajender. Devnath Mondal. This is Bersel Vigas. Churchill Brothers need to be a little more, need to show a little more urgency. I said before, they need to be patient, but they don't want to take it very long, because this could get tricky and nervous for them if they don't get this goal back. This is Clint Mendes. Back to Rajender Singh. Beautiful touch from Schubert. This is Kingsley. Look at how closely they always play to each other, Kingsley and Schubert. Joban not getting to that ball, apologizing to Kingsley because he didn't read that ball from Kingsley at all. Presley Mascarenas, he has a big job on his hands now. Will this be another shocker? This is Rajender. Bersel Vigas puts it up. This is Peter Carvalho with a change in pace, but Velito brings down Peter, wins the free kick. This is good stuff from Velsao and Peter. Peter Carvalho, Brian Mascarenas, the goal scorer. Brian plays it looking for Ronald Azevedo, not quite finding him there, overawed with the situation. Asif Molla shadowing him. This is Bersel Vigas moving forward with the ball, looking for Joban Cardozo, but the slide coming in from Velroy. This is beautiful football yet again. Look at this from Churchill Brothers. Schubert laying it off to Klintz. I don't know what he was trying there in the end. Caught in two minds between a shot and a pass to Three-Joy Dice, but there again, very intricate play. Look at this. Schubert to Bersel. Bersel plays it back to Klintz, and he plays it back. That's absolutely beautiful football to watch over there. Just the end product missing there from Churchill Brothers. Kidron, Asif's ball forward. This is Brian Mascarenas. Brian's ball forward, headed on by Kidron again. This is Asif. Velsao not pushing many players forward because they know that if they can hold on to this, there's a major upset on the cards. It's a long ball switched over by Clint Mendes for Three-Joy. This is Three-Joy Dice. Velito gives it away uncannily. This is Romario da Costa pacing up front. We know his quality, Romario da Costa, and another foul. This time he will get a yellow card, Velito Cruz. Quite rightly so. It's not for the first time he's given that ball away, and Ends up fouling Romario de Costa this time. There you see that turn of pace and a quick turn from Romario, brought down by Velito Cruz. Rajendra Singh getting out for Velito, again giving it away. It's not good from Rajendra Singh. He started off his campaign with Churchill Brothers on an impressive note, but as reliable as he looked in that first game, he's had a slight dip in form really. He could have done much better in some games, and that miss pass again there, sometimes he has the knack of being very casual. As Kingsley Fernandez wins the foul from Kluzna. This is Asif standing over the ball. Asif Molla, he's gonna take this free kick. Can he curl in a quality ball into the box? Calls it in. Not enough players in the box for Churchill Brothers. Headed out by Velsao, but back in Churchill Brothers possession, which has been the case throughout this first half. This is Rajendra Singh. Basil Schubert again, beautiful turn, brought down yet again by Velroy. This time Velroy will get the yellow card. But there you see that trouble yet again. Schubert taking these Velsao players on, and every opportunity, and there Velroy quite rightly shown the yellow card, just grabbing Schubert from the back. Velroy Carvalho. And the free kick will be taken after the cooling break which the referee has given, and as the players head to the dugouts, Climax Lawrence and Jude Barreto will be a little surprised with the scoreline, but they will take this any day, any time. Velsao leading Churchill Brothers 1-0, to the surprise and shock of everyone, with Churchill dominating proceedings right from the onset, but Velsao getting that penalty which Brian Mascarenas put it across Debnath Montol in expert fashion. It's a great penalty from Brian Mascarenas. But what would be interesting to see yet again will be if Kane Fernandez was in an offside position when that ball was played. In that case, it could have been a controversial penalty. Here's that chance. Look at this again. And there you see, there is the confirmation. Yes, he was pushed out by Asif Molla, but I'm sorry, that was Kane Fernandez in an offside position. Great camera work by the crew, showing us exactly how that works. But interestingly, there was no protest from the Churchill Brothers players. This is Schubert's ball in. Not the greatest of free kicks by Schubert. This is Basil Vegas, Velito Cruz. Velito's ball. Asif's header will not trouble Presley Mascarenas. However, riding on some luck, Velsao Sports and Cultural Club are in a 1-goal lead courtesy of Brian Mascarena's penalty in what could be a shock result. However, long time to go still for Velsao Sports and Cultural Club. This is Kane, Fernandez and Brian Mascarenas. This is Kane, this is good play, this is Romario, tries to slip it through for Joseph, not quite getting there, and Velito will give it out for a throw-in for Velsao. This is Brian Mascarenas. Plays it forward. Kane losing out to his number 8 counterpart Joban Cardozo. This is Ronald Azevedo in some space. Now Romario spreads it out wide to Kane. This is confident play from Velsao. Like I said before, Velsao have played good football throughout this league. They've shown some flashes of brilliance, but they've been unlucky at times. Maybe that they deserve that bit of luck for their grit and determination shown in this year's league. They've got that, and now they need to hold on to that for the next 55 minutes. This is Joban. Asif changes flanks. This is Rajendra. Bersel Vegas. 3 Joy now. Clint Mendes. Velito. Kidron Fernandez. Swinging like a pendulum right now, that Churchill shape. The ball still with Churchill. This is Schubert with great close control. What a brilliant watch this man is. This is Kingsley. Looks for Joban, who fails to control it. But every single time this Schubert and Kingsley on the ball, it is threatening for Velsao Sports and Cultural Club. This is Peter. Romario again. Velroy puts it forward. Akshay does well, leaves it for Velroy, who cannot get under control. However, Joseph does. This is Romario. Peter. There's a player down on the field as the assistant referee has given an offside against Velsao Sports and Cultural Club. This is Rajendra to Kidron. Velito to Bersel Vegas. 3 Joy. Kingsley back to Clint Mendes. Gives it away. Clint hasn't had a good game so far. He's had those moments where he's given away the ball looking for that forward pass, and so has Velito. The central midfield pairing not working out too well today for Churchill Brothers. Here's that man Velito. This is Bersel Vegas. Kingsley looks to play it first time to 3 Joy. This is Bersel. 3 Joy's ball in, not troubling Presley Mascarenas as it goes out for a goal kick. Just a shake of the head from 3 Joy. He's been a man in form, but he's not been quite showing those flashes of brilliance. He's not had too much of an effect today on this Velsao defense. 3 Joy dies. Viraj Naik's goal kick comes in. Looking for Akshay. Headed on by Velroy. Klins heads it on to Velito. Beautiful block from Ron Lazavedo as Velito was trying to thread it through for his forwards. And Klusna gives the throw in away. Asif. Schubert back to Asif. Switches wings Kidron to Velsao Vigas. Velsao almost gives it away. He does in the end. This is Peter Carvalho. That's beautiful football from Velsao. Joseph Pereira laying it off to Ron Lazavedo. This is Kane Fernandez taking the safer option. This is Brian Mascarenas. Churchill Brothers forcing Velsao back. The long ball coming in, and it does find Akshay. Now one-on-one with Rajendra, but he prefers taking that shot, which has gone over Devnath's goal, who's had nothing to do yet so far, Devnath Mondol, but he's conceded that goal from the penalty spot. As we see Churchill Brothers readying a substitute only in the first half, 40 minutes played. As you see Kingsley up against Velroy. Kingsley lays it off to Velsao. Velito. Velito to Kidron. Kidron spreads it out, beautifully taken by Joban. Again a poor ball in the end from Joban. He's not had a great game, Joban Cardozo. Clint Mendes has been taken off, and Frankie Oliveiro, who scored those 2 goals against Kalingut Association, has been brought on. Armando Colasso is known to be quite ruthless, and he's seen enough of Clint Mendes in the 40 minutes that he's played, and he hasn't been impressed with the midfielder today, Clint Mendes. Armando Colasso taking action and bringing on Frankie Oliveiro, the man in form, scoring 2 goals in the last match, 1 from penalty and 1 slotting it on the rebound. This is Kingsley, can't find his partner this time around. Rajendra Singh slides in, but not to his advantage. This is Asif Molla. Switches. This is Kingsley trying to conjure something up for Churchill Brothers, as every player is packed for Velsao in their own half. This is Asif. Velito with some space. They are maintaining that shape, Velsao. This is Schubert's shot, and that should be a goal, and that is disastrous from Presley Mascarenas, who's been so good throughout the tournament, but he really should have kept this with him. And Schubert making the difference yet again, taking that snapshot, but this should have been in the hands of Presley Mascarenas. Joban Cardozo getting on the rebound, anticipating that Presley is going to miss out on that, and Kane Fernandez just watches on haplessly. And Churchill Brothers, just like that, are back in this match, courtesy of Presley Mascarenas howler. This is that shot. Presley Mascarenas should have done better. Joban Cardozo had the simplest of jobs to pass it into an open net. This is Velsao Vigas. Velito. We won't see much in the pattern of the game. Churchill Brothers will want to get another goal to get that victory, and that is a foul from Schubert on Viraj Naik. Quite rightly a free kick given by the referee. Schubert Pereira. On a start he's had to the game. Asif's header. This is Joburn. Klusner's clearance. Asif. This is Kingsley. Plays it back to Velito. Joy again not finding the preferred destination, however still gets it back. This is Asif. Joseph plays it back to Kane. This is Peter Carvalho. Peter lays it off to Kane Fernandez. Kane tries to show his skill, but Frankie strips him off the ball but gives it straight back to Velsao. This is Romario. Velito's block. That's the ball in Rajender's feet. This is Kidron Fernandez. This is Joburn. Asif. Asif trying to take the players on. This is Kingsley. Klusner does well. 3 minutes of additional time shown by the assistant referee. And this is Romario da Costa pushing Velsao forward, trying to regain that lead that they had from that Brian Mascarenas penalty, but Joburn Cardozo restored parity for Churchill Brothers. This ball comes through. This is through, and what a chance that was! Devnath Mondol comes out and avoids the danger, but he would have had no chance had Joseph Pereira had a better touch on this ball. This is a beautiful ball forward from Romario da Costa. Joseph Pereira was onside, but a poor touch from him allows Devnath Mondol to get on the end of it, and he requires some medical attention. And Velsao are not really sitting pretty here. They are coming out at Churchill Brothers on that odd occasion, just keeping this Churchill Brothers team on their toes. They cannot take anything lightly here, Churchill Brothers. He's good in a one-on-one situation, Devnath Mondol. He tends to surprise the forwards with how fast he can come out of his goal, and his large frame helps him make that goal look a little smaller for the forwards. Yet another good save, helped by Joseph Pereira's poor touch. And it is still 1-1 between Velsao Sports and Cultural Club and Churchill Brothers. The throw-in comes in. Cleared out by Velsao. Given away again. This is Velito. Kingsley. Kingsley's pull. He's gone to the byline, trying to pull it back for Joburn and Schubert, but he wins the corner kick. Every single time that these two have the ball, they're looking to take these players on. Joy to take this corner now. Joy's ball in. It's a header, not the greatest one from Rajendra Singh. Velito. Basil Vegas. This is Kingsley. Kingsley's ball in, not a bad one, but Presley Mascarenas Comes out and punches it. Let's see what exactly happened. Kingsley looking for Trijay Dice's run, but he cuts back in, and Schubert was there again looking to get on the end of that. But Presley, aware of that situation, punches it out. Prasad Sirlakar, with a smile on his face, has handled this game well, but that offside decision, which was a penalty for Velsao Sports and Cultural Club, he'll be having a word with his assistant on that later on, as he brings this first half to an end in what was looking like Velsao were on their way to shocking the Red Machines, taking a Brian Mascarenas penalty to take the lead against the Red Machines Churchill Brothers. But Churchill Brothers, with the likes of Schubert Pereira and Kingsley Fernandez in the ranks today, they were always going to look to unlock this defense, and they did it in the 42nd minute, courtesy a howler from Presley Mascarenas. From Schubert's shot on the rebound, Choban Cardozo came out and tapped the ball into an empty net, which has resulted in the halftime scoreline of Velsao 1 and Churchill Brothers 1. Welcome back to a second half which promises so much action between Churchill Brothers and Velsao Sports and Cultural Club, with Churchill restoring parity in the 43rd minute, courtesy Joban Cardozo, who reacted first as Presley Mascarenas failed to grab onto a Schubert Pereira shot which he really should have held on to, but Joban Cardozo equalizing with that goal. After Brian Mascarenas put Velsao Sports and Cultural Club into a shock lead against Churchill Brothers, with Devnath Mondol having no chance of saving that penalty from Brian Mascarenas, who once again on his left foot took a world-class penalty. A big half for these young boys in black and yellow, but with the likes of Kingsley and Schubert always threatening, they have their task cut out against the red machines. But they have done a good job so far. Churchill Brothers have been on the attack right from the word go, but they've had that off chance. Velsao Sports and Cultural Club from time to time, and they've looked threatening on those, with Joseph Pereira, who was through on goal but failed to take that chance. Joseph Pereira, as Kane Mora has been taken off by Jude Barreto, and Selvel Cardozo has been brought on. Selvel, the man who's been in terrific form for Velsao on the left wing. We'll see him in action now, and what can he muster against the likes of Asif Molla? It'll be interesting to see. He's done well in most of his games. Selvel Cardozo, he scored that goal against Garden Angel in that first half as well, getting some reward for his hard work. Kingsley cannot get this under his control. This is Schubert. Valito. Romario getting it in control, does well. This is Ronald. Plays it out wide to Akshay. Akshay's ball in is not a bad one. The header comes in from Selvel, and the referee has given a corner kick. We'll see this again. This was not a bad ball from Akshay Pashilkar, as Joseph Pereira was right there competing with Rajendra Singh. As the ball comes in from Brian Mascarenas, is slightly overcooked, and Devnath Mondol will take the goal kick as a result of that. This is Persil with a poor touch. Velroy has got the ball back, but not many players in the box for Churchill Brothers. Asif clears it. Klusner with the header. And Velroy gets the foul from Persil Vigas. Interesting start from Velsao Sports and Cultural Club. Brian Mascarenas and Ronald Azevedo standing over the ball. Devnath Mondol marshalling his troops. I see Frankie Oliveira and Valito Cruz. And Brian Mascarenas' ball comes in color, headed on, and then the shot in from Velroy on his left foot, but not in target to trouble the likes of Devnath Mondol. This is Basil Vigas. Three Joy. Valito. Kingsley. Kingsley twisting and turning, does well. He's still going. Kingsley, look at this run from Kingsley. Puts in a beautiful ball to Frankie Oliveira, who fails to take it. He hits it straight into Presley Mascarenas, but this was all about that man Kingsley. What a beautiful run that is from this man. On your screen is still going. That's beautifully done again. But Kluzna comes up and clears the ball. This is exciting from that man Kingsley. He's looking to take these players on, but Frankie Oliveira really should have done better. There was nothing more justifiable to that than scoring a goal on a brilliant play from Kingsley Fernandez. Just look at this ball, look at the vision. Velsao was opened up completely, and Frankie really should have scored that goal. He scored 2 in the last match, and it could have been a third for Frankie Oliveira, but he fails to take it. Presley Mascarenas won't be happy that it was hit straight at him. This is Three Joy's ball in. Cleared on, and this is Joseph now on the counter attack. This is Savlon up against Asif for the first time in this half. Asif does well, forces Savlon to go back. This is Ronald, Peter Carvalho now. Romario de Costa skips through the first 3 challenges. And then Velroy's ball in is not a bad one. Savlon tries to get to that. Asif does well. This is Savlon. Gets it in control. He's still got it. That's very well done by Savlon Cardozo. However, Joban gets it, but does well in the end. Savlon. This is back in Velsao possession. Brian Mascarenas. Savlon loses out finally and gives away a foul on Kingsley. There you see, just being pulled back, Kingsley, by Savlon Cardozo. This is Kidrin to take this free kick. Presley Mascarenas hooks the ball long, headed on by Rajinder. This is Akshay. Joseph again kind of losing out on that. This is Percival Vegas. Puts it through for Kingsley, and now Kingsley is in a very good position. Puts it through for Schubert. Schubert up against Kluzna. Schubert's ball in is not a bad one, and that is the second goal. Joban Cardozo has got this goal, and it was all again that combination. Schubert with this beautifully played ball. Look at this. Again, Kingsley and Schubert right at the heart of things. Schubert's cross finding Joban Cardozo, who has the simplest job of volleying it past Presley Mascarenas. It was an inch perfect ball to Joban Cardozo, arriving a little late at on the right hand side and side footing the volley past Presley Mascarenas, and Churchill Brothers, just like that, is back in front. Again, that was really Kingsley and Schubert who did the good work, but Joban Cardozo has been the beneficiary of both of them, as he scored 2 goals today. This is Akshay, but Rajender sliding in, winning that challenge. This is Peter Carvalho. Velito Cruz. This is going to be an open game. Frankie. Three Joy Dias Kingsley. Velito. Basil Vegas on the left hand side. Back to Velito. This is Rajender. Gidron Fernandez. Asif Molla back to Kidron. Rajender Singh. Playing square passes amongst themselves. This is Kidron. Just keeping possession here, Churchill Brothers. Being patient in building their attack. And they've got some space now with Schubert charging forward with Kingsley by his side. This is Schubert again, going effortlessly, and he hits the bottom of the post, and it goes out for a goal kick. Yet another let off for Velsao Sports and Cultural Club. This has been a masterful performance from Schubert Pereira and Kingsley Fernandez. Look at this run again from Schubert. Goes past Klusna as if he was not there. You can see the difference in quality right now with Schubert and Kingsley on the field for Churchill Brothers. An absolute fantastic to watch. No wonder they are playing at the highest level of football in India with Churchill Brothers in the I-League. They're absolutely bossing that Velsao 11 right now, Kingsley and Schubert. And this is Basil Vegas. Three Joy skips past two challenges, puts it forward for Schubert, who does well yet again. Look at this. That is clear frustration from Klusna Pereira. Absolute frustration. He knows that there was a yellow card straight away. He had no option but to bring that man down. Schubert Pereira is on a roll right now. This is Velito Cruz to take this free kick. This is Schubert, and that was the foul which was given away by Klusna. And a substitution happening as Three Joy Dice is set to make way, and Bryce Miranda is the person who's coming on. Bryce Miranda, also a new face in this Churchill Brothers Goa League team. We can see what he does now. Bryce Miranda. Like for like change, Armando Colasso will not be sitting back here. This ball comes in and we'll see the first of Bryce Miranda. Look at that pace from that man. He's won the ball straight away. Bryce Miranda on his left foot puts in a beautifully floated cross, but headed out just about. Basil Vegas, Churchill Brothers are turning it on right now. This is their 10th match in the league. Churchill Brothers, they don't have any chance of winning this year's Selvel Goa Professional League, but they would want to end on the highest number of points that they can muster. Churchill Brothers against Velsao Sports and Cultural Club. And guess who they play in their last match? They play against Youth Club of Manora. Boy, what a tough encounter that will turn out to be for Youth Club of Manora. If at all it's a relegation battle for Youth Club of Manora, they will be up against it, because Churchill Brothers are looking like a championship team right now, with the likes of Schubert and Kingsley in the team, playing in the first 11. Akshay wins the free kick. Can Velsao fight back against a very, very good Churchill Brothers team here right now, with a free kick in store? This is Akshay. Akshay's ball in will be easily handled by Devnath Mondal, and this is Bryce Miranda again chasing. Look at that stride from Bryce Miranda. Another player having come off a very successful campaign with Churchill Brothers. Bryce Miranda plying his trade for Churchill Brothers in the I-League this season. A very, very young midfielder, very young winger rather. Only 21 years of age. From Bombay. He's had his youth career in Union Bank FC and Mumbai FC. He's plied his trade for FC Goa B team in 2018-19, where he won the Goa Professional League with them. And this year he's had 2 appearances for Churchill Brothers in the I-League. Bryce Miranda. He made his debut this season against Indian Arrows. Bryce Miranda was quite impressive in that, and you can see it why, because he's got the pace, he's got the strength, and he's quite a handful. Armando Colasso giving him a go against a Velsao team which looks to be headed for defeat, and it's a very daunting attack right now for Churchill Brothers, with Bryce Miranda, Kingsley and Schubert up front. It could have been scary for any opponent. Throw taken. Frankie Oliveira doesn't get that in control. This is Savlon Cardozo. Puts it up. This is Savlon. Gets past the first challenge of Asif. Still going. Now up against 2. Joban and Asif. The stepper was coming in. And Joban puts it out for a throw-in. Does well there. Kingsley back in his defense, and look at this, he's just oozing in confidence. He's going past players as if they are not there. They're like statues over there, these Velsao players right now, with Kingsley Fernandez, and just easing past the defenders right now. Romario being fouled there finally by Kingsley. Just look at this bit of skill right now. But not that, that was the foul given away by Kingsley on Romario. Kingsley has also had a very interesting career. He is playing for Churchill Brothers in the I-League this year. We'll get back to Kingsley, but this free kick comes in from Brian Mascarenas. And Bryce tries to take it in a stride. He's trying to get it and tap it past the players and use the space straight away. Romario up against Kingsley, wins the header. This is Ronald Azevedo's ball. This is dangerous. Joseph Pereira! And it has been cleared off the line. What a chance that was yet again for Velsao, who are refusing to go away right now. Look at this ball from Ronald Azevedo. Threads it through that defense. Joseph Pereira with the run. He chips it just a crucial hand from Debnath Mondol, and Asif Molla keeps it out somehow before it could go into the box, as we see Joseph Pereira on the ground being attended to by the physio, some medical attention required. And we look at the skill from Kingsley Fernandez. Look at the confidence he has, easily puts it through the legs of Savlon Cardozo, and then Schubert tries to put it back to Kingsley, and quite rightly given away a foul there by the referee. But getting back to Kingsley, that man on your screen has played for Vasco in 2015-16, has had 3 appearances for Churchill Brothers in 2017, then he plied his trade for FC Goa for their reserve team from 2017-18, but he's back with Churchill Brothers in the 2020 season, and he scored a goal also in the I-League in his 15 appearances this season for Churchill Brothers. Has been a regular player, that man Kingsley Fernandez, and quite rightly you can see that difference in quality, the confidence, that aura around him right now that these Velsao players have. He always has that fraction of a second more than any player on the field, Kingsley Fernandez. And so does Schubert Pereira as well. They're looking different, classed as if they're playing in another game altogether than the others on the field. But that man has the potential to be right up there with those players he's playing against. Romario da Costa, he has the quality to emulate his opponents today, Kingsley Fernandez and Schubert Pereira. This is Joban Cardozo, the man who scored a brace. And this is Bryce now, onto the left hand side, putting in another beautiful cross in. Frankie tries to get on the end of it, but not quite getting there. This is Savlon, plays it back to Brian. Brian's ball forward, looking for Ronald Azevedo, but easily cleaned up by Gidron Fernandez. And Rajendra to Bersel Vegas. And getting back to Schubert Pereira, and we talk about how young these boys are. Schubert, just 22 years of age, has already plied his trade for Gokulam Kerala FC from 2017-18, and then he played for Vasco Sports Club between 2018-19, and then this season he's played for Churchill Brothers in the I-League, and here he is doing a fantastic job in the Goa Professional League in his first match this season in this year's Goa Professional League. This is Bryce Miranda losing out. Piyush comes in place of Joseph Pereira for Velsao. And this is Akshay putting it forward for Piyush, and the ball has stayed in, or has it? Has gone out for a throw-in, which has finally been given. Asif Molla to take it. This time a Velsao throw-in. And this is Ronald Azevedo. Ronald moving forward. This is Savlon now, up against Asif Molla and Joban. But you see, every time Savlon has the ball, Joban getting back to cover Asif Molla. That's the respect these players have for the young Selvel Cardozo. However, 68 minutes played at the Duler Stadium. Churchill Brothers are leading Velsao Sports and Cultural Club 2-1. And it really has been a Kingsley Schubert Pereira show, with Joban Cardozo scoring both goals, but all the spotlight on those two right now, Schubert and Kingsley Fernandez. This is Rajendra Singh. Long ball forward from Rajendra, looking for Frankie. This is Velsao SCC. Velsao moving forward. Beautiful turn again. Kingsley just running away this time. The ball. Viraj Naik cleaning up. Plays it to Presley, who clears it. But as long as Churchill just have a 1-goal lead, we've seen Velsao can threaten on that counter-attack. They have that odd quality of pulling something out of nothing, and they're not going away here. Anything can happen in football, as we've seen in the first half when they took that shock lead against Churchill Brothers. The ball comes in from Brian Mascarenas. That's a free header which really should have been scored. Look at this opportunity again. Selvel, Brian Mascarenas puts in a peach of a ball. That should have been in the back of the net from Piyush. He made a mess of that chance. And he will come back to rue that. Absolutely free there with that Piyush, but fails to take that opportunity yet again. But like I said, Velsao are not going away. They are creating those odd chances. Believe it or not, if they took all their chances, it well could have been 3 goals right now for Velsao. Schubert has been brought down by Peter Carvalho. There's no arguments on that. Schubert yet again steps past the first challenge. Turning on the show here at the Duler Stadium today, Schubert Pereira and Kingsley Fernandez. This is Velito now. Choban, Velito giving the ball away. Beautiful from Bryce. Winning that foul, but that turn quality written all over it yet again. Let's see that again. Look at this turn. Bryce puts it through the legs of Viraj Naik there. And Velito Cruz will take this free kick. He chips it into the box. No foul given this time by the referee. Asif just jogging back and letting the ball go out for a throw-in. This is Asif now. Takes the throw-in. Joban wins another throw-in. Churchill Brothers just playing the game at their own pace, but they will do well not to take this Velsao team casually, because they can come and restore parity at any point of time, as they well have experienced right now. Churchill Brothers, they will consider themselves lucky that they're still ahead 2-1. This is Velroy with the clearance. Kluzna to Brian. Chipped well forward from Romario. This is Romario. He's got a very, very impressive run in him, Romario da Costa. Velsao does well in that situation. Kingsley always looking to turn away from his marker. How teasing can he be for a defender, Kingsley? Look at how easily he turns away from Romario there. This is Bryce. This is still Bryce. Losing out the ball in the end. Some pulling off the jersey, but this is Romario, the talented youngster. Kedron keeps it in. This is Rajender. Velito. Asif does well to go past Ronald. Schubert didn't get the run of Joban Cardozo there. He's back in Velsao position. Klusener's ball forward. Ronald Azevedo. Savlon Cardozo. Piyush, who had that chance, not a long back. This is Kingsley. Again, increasing pace. Kingsley Fernandez. This time losing out to Romario. Velroy. Romario looks for the run of Akshay, but not quite getting it there. This is Klusener. Klusener's ball forward, looking for Piyush, headed on by Rajender. Back in Velsao position with Presley Mascarenhas. Presley. This is Klusener. Klusener hooks it forward, looking for the run of Ronald Azevedo, who's won the corner off Kedron Fernandez, and the referee has blown his whistle for the second and final cooling break. As the Velsao players walk back to the dugout, it is Churchill Brothers 2, Velsao Sports Club 1. Jude Barreto and Climax Lawrence will be hoping for something to happen for Velsao Sports and Cultural Club. This is the first goal which gave Velsao a shock lead, but we knew that this Churchill Brothers were not to rest on their laurels, and they came back with a goal with Schubert Pereira on the shot, and Joban Cardozo tamping it into an empty net. But then it changed it all in the second half. Again that combination, Kingsley to Schubert, and Schubert putting in an inch perfect cross for Joban to volley in an absolutely sensational goal in. This is Savlon who's gonna take this corner kick for Velsao. It's not a bad one yet again. Devnath Mondal palms it out, this time not for a corner but a throw-in. This is the corner kick from Savlon Cardozo. Not a bad one. Klusener trying to get on the end of it. This is Velroy who's going to launch this into the box. We've seen Churchill vulnerable in the defense, but this time they do well and win the throw-in as Velroy fails to keep it in control. This is Brian Mascarenhas. Bersel Vegas. Bryce. Back to Bersel. This is Schubert. Bryce now on the left hand side. Schubert again. Bryce back to Kingsley. That is that trio Bryce, Schubert and Kingsley moving around, passing it around, toying with these players right now. Kingsley gets it back, but Romario does well yet again. He's showing everyone around him that he belongs to the big league, Romario da Costa. He's still very young and he needs to build on his physicality if he wants to grow as a player. And I'm sure the coaches and the scouts will have their eyes on this young talent, Romario da Costa. The ball comes in from Viraj Naik, easily headed back by Asif Molla into the hands of Debnath Mondal. This is Rajendra Singh. Puts the ball forward. Bryce gives it away. Schubert trying to get it back, but this is Brian Mascarenhas. It's not a bad ball forward, but again Piyush, you will not believe that he was trying to do. He tried to get it down in his path, but again, what vision this is from Brian Mascarenhas. Just look at this for a ball. That is when he should head it past Debnath Mondal. Again, another chance goes begging for Velsao Sports and Cultural Club. If they do go down into that relegation dogfight, they will come back and absolutely be haunted with these. The number of chances that they have wasted is absolutely incredible as Debnath Mondal punches that out. Bryce tries to keep it in and fails to do so. Debnath marshalling his defenders. This is Velroy. Velroy's throw was almost flicked on by Peter Carvalho. Not quite getting there. Frankie, the lone man forward for Churchill Brothers. This is Savlon. Not quite keeping it in the end. Asif Molla will be taking this throw in. This is Kidron Fernandez. Kidron turning and hooking it forward. Frankie trying to get it under control, doesn't get it. This is Savlon yet again. Savlon's ball forward over Akshay Pashilkar. This is Piyush coming forward now. This is Bryce with some space to work with. This is Bryce putting it forward. He will keep that in the pace that he has. Does well there. Bryce moving forward. The cross comes in, which is not a bad one. And Frankie tries to get there ahead of Brian Mascarenhas, but Brian gets the throw in, going shoulder to shoulder with Frankie Oliveira. Does well in that situation. This is Peter Carvalho. This is Akshay Pashilkar. Plays it back to Viraj Naik. And Viraj's ball forward, looking for the run of Ronald Azevedo, headed out by Rajendra Singh. Playing it safe right now, the Churchill Brothers defenders. They know that it's touch and go right now, with Velsao desperate to get something out of this game, and Rajendra Singh again coming out and clearing this ball. This is Velroy again. Velroy Carvalho. Velroy takes this throw in, flicked on by Peter. Rajendra Singh with the clearance. And this is Schubert. Bryce. Now this is Valito. What a poor ball that is from Valito. Don't know what he was trying to do. He had Kingsley for support on his right hand side, but he chooses the wrong option. They would want to get that insurance goal right now. Churchill Brothers, because Velsao are not laying down right now. And that was a poor ball forward. Will give some kind of breathing space right now to Churchill Brothers. 83 minutes played. Devnath Mondal, the captain of Churchill Brothers, will take this goal kick. Devnath's long kick, headed on by Peter. Now this is Kingsley. Bersel's ball forward. Now this is Bryce up against Velroy. This is Kingsley. Bersel Vegas, Kingsley. And get that movement from Kingsley. Peter. Savlon puts this ball forward. Piyush gets there ahead of Kidron Fernandez, but Kidron just about doing enough there. This is Chobin's ball to Bersel Vegas. Bersel puts it forward for Bryce, again setting on a run. The ball comes in, has gone off Kluzna into the hands of Presley Mascarenhas. This is Akshay. Romario puts in another beautiful ball forward. This is Piyush. Again easily dealt with by Rajendra Singh. Not doing enough. Piyush over there. He really should have taken that touch inside of Rajendra Singh. And a substitution happening as Velroy Carvalho has been taken off, and Shamir Babu Swami has been brought on by Jude Barreto and Climax Lawrence. An attacking change. This is a chance. Brian's shot, this time on his right foot, almost wins the corner. And this is Brian. Brian's ball in will be easily dealt with by Devnath Mondal. This is Asif. Kluzna. This is Akshay. Peter. Peter puts it forward. This is Ronald Azevedo. Ronald tries to go on a mazy run, reads it well, Asif Molla, and putting it forward. This time it's Schubert. Schubert trying to take on Kluzna, and then gets the foul from Savlon Cardozo, teasing the defenders. Savlon just apologizing Schubert there. There you see, teasing. And then Savlon Cardozo quite evidently gives away the foul. This is Bryce Miranda standing over the ball. What can he do? There are not many players forward for Churchill Brothers. Bryce's ball forward, and that was a brilliant ball to Schubert. And an equally brilliant save by Presley Mascarenhas. But look at the quality Bryce delivers in the box. What a chance to make it 3-1 from Schubert. He really deserves the goal today. We'll see this again on the replay. What a ball in that is. Schubert does get on the end of it, but a reflex save from Presley Mascarenhas has kept Velsao in the game. This is Joban. Chested by Kluzna. This is Peter Carvalho. Moving forward, Peter. Not many options forward. Peter's ball forward, sending Savlon on a run. This is Savlon. Takes the shot, wrong decision. He had some space to work with. He had options, and you can see the disappointment on his face. He did well to get past Bryce there. Not doing enough in the end. With this win, Churchill Brothers will head on to 16 points, and they will be aiming to finish as high as they can after a disastrous start to this year's campaign. Could have been a very different story with Kingsley, Schubert and Bryce playing for them, but you've got to keep the Red Machine's flag flying high no matter who's playing. This is Schubert again, this time dispossessed by Peter, but Kingsley gets it. Velito, Bersel Vegas, he's been clutching that ankle of his for quite some time now, and Schubert will be needing medical attention now. He seems to be fine. Schubert just walking off that. It'll be interesting to see if Armando Colasso actually takes him off the next game against Youth Club of Monora. They have a long break after this. The next game only after 2 weeks, when they play against the Youth Club of Monora on the last day of the Selvel Goa Professional League. This is Frankie, puts Bryce Miranda forward. Bryce cutting in, up against Bryce. Bryce still going, but losing out to Peter there. This is Kluzna. Kluzna's ball forward and foul given. Rajendra Singh just smiling that in that occasion. This is Kluzna, and 5 minutes of added on time shown by the assistant referee as the clock ticks down for Velsao Sports and Cultural Club to get something out of this game. This is Kluzna, ball comes in, headed on by Rajendra Singh. We've seen late drama in the last few matches, but we will see if something happens in this game. Velsao still not out of the game. Piyush's ball forward is not a great one. Devnath Mondol easily holds that, goes to ground. Devnath's ball is not the greatest one, but luckily for him it finds Chobert, but he will not keep that ball in. Quickly taken. This is Piyush driving into the box. Piyush still going. Piyush somehow cleared out by Rajendra Singh. Schubert has been taken off by Armando Colasso. He doesn't want to risk his talented midfielder, and Rakesh Das has come on for Churchill Brothers. This ball comes in from Brian Mascarenas. This is Savlon, but Velito clears it up. This is Bryce looking for the run of Rakesh, not finding it. This is Romario. Still Brian. Romario plays it beautifully, disguised to Brian Mascarenas. Kluzna's shot straight into the safe hands of Devnath Mondol. An ambitious effort there from Kluzna Pereira. Devnath again with the poor clearance. Not happy with himself there, but Shamir Babu Swami failing to keep that in. And Joban Cardozo, a player who scored a brace today. The man of the match award will go to him, if there was one, for scoring the 2 goals And goals are what talk in a football game. Velsao ball forward. This is Velito Cruz. This is Kingsley. Puts it forward now for Bryce. Should keep it in. Bryce does well. This is still Bryce, plays it. And then the shot comes in on the run. Frankie Oliveira there, but not quite getting the shot on target. This is Shamir Babu. Ronald Azevedo. Ronald's ball forward will be again into the safe hands of Debnath. Debnath will look to put this up, not like he did the last two times. Much better from him. This is Rakesh Das. And ball from Kluzna, but not seen by the referee. Kluzna clears it up. A match which was made interesting by that early penalty from Brian Mascarenhas, where Churchill Brothers have done well yet again. They've come back from 1-0 down and have got the lead against Velsao Sports and Cultural Club. They're leading 2-1 against Velsao, as Brian showing some anger there against Rakesh Das. This ball is lingering, and that's a chance! That is an absolutely stunning goal from Ronald Azevedo! I am shocked as to what I've seen right now. As comfortable as Churchill Brothers looked today, this has happened in the very last seconds, probably the last kick of the game really. Ronald Azevedo hitting the top corner. What a goal that is, and what a time to get that goal. You will not believe what you've been seeing for the last 3 matches, and yet again drama unfolding. You can never call that anything, as Velsao deflected ball lingers onto the path of Ronald Azevedo, who does quite outstandingly to score that equalizer, and they were always right up there with the last kick of the game. How disappointed would Armando Colasso be? Churchill Brothers were so impressive the whole game, but Velsao showing the fighting spirit that they have shown throughout the tournament with the very last kick of the game. Ronald Azevedo restoring parity, getting the equalizer. Full time from the Duler Stadium. The scoreline reads Velsao Sports and Cultural Club 2, Churchill Brothers Sports Club 2. What an important point that is for Velsao. As we see the sun setting at the Duler Stadium, the next match will be on 3rd of April between Panjim footballers, the Sporting Club Juniors versus Sporting Club de Goa, and that is going to be anything but a friendly match, because both teams will be looking to absolutely go at each other and prove why they are deserving to be the top team. Sporting Club de Goa and Panjim footballers will be looking to rise the stake of their young footballers with a chance to get promoted to the first team.